Well, the facts that Senator Alexander just put out there make it very clear that this is nothing more than a power grab. Nothing more, nothing less. That's precisely what it is. The Democrats here in Washington want to run roughshod over the minority. And we've seen that. We've seen the president doesn't like dealing with the minority party here in Washington. Whether it's the IRS or the EPA or the CFPB, he's got a lot of agencies that are trying to usurp the powers, the separation of powers, things that are traditionally conferred on the legislative branch of the government, and trying to essentially legislate by executive order. We've seen that over and over and over again. That's been the pattern. And what the majority Democrats are talking about doing here in the United States Senate is essentially running over the rights of the minority. And Senator Alexander said it absolutely right. If you look at there is no basis or foundation on which to change the rules. You look at the executive branch nominees, and he said there haven't been any of them been denied confirmation in the second term, or for that matter before that, but the votes have been big. And Department of Energy was 97-0. Department of Transportation was 100-0. The low one was Secretary of Treasury. Jack Lew only got 71 votes. But they're getting overwhelming votes here in the United States Senate. And as has been stated, there have been 199 lower court confirmations, 2 defeated in the time that the president's been in office. And if you look at just this year, the number that have been confirmed has been 28 judges. At the same time, in President Bush's second term, that number was 10. And processing times have been a lot faster. They're getting about 100 days faster in terms of the rate at which judges are getting through the process here. So there is simply no foundation, no basis upon which the Democrats should do what they're talking about doing. And I'll just say, as somebody who came here back in 2005 and actually kind of came into office on this argument, because at that time the Democrats were holding up President Bush's judicial nominees, and there was a big debate about whether or not to exercise a nuclear option. And many of us who came from the House of Representatives were frustrated with the pace of the Senate, thought it was wrong that the Democrats were doing this, and were actually sympathetic to that argument. But fortunately, cooler heads prevailed, not only on the judge issue, but on legislative matters as well. There were lots of things that we want to do legislatively. You know, we would love to have gotten medical malpractice reform passed. That got 58 votes in the Senate. Or exploration on the north coast of Alaska for energy. I think that got 58 votes in the Senate. Big majorities, but short of the necessary supermajority that it takes to get things done here in the Senate. That's the beauty of the United States Senate, is it allows for representation for minority rights. And what they're talking about doing would undermine and wreck that. And Senator Reid said it very, very well back in 2009. He said that this would ruin the country. He went on to say that it would have destroyed the Senate to have used the nuclear option and changed the rules. And make no mistake about it, they're talking about executive nominations today, but if you do this, it blows the door wide open. They will have established a precedent, and it will only be a matter of time before they want to use that for judicial nominations and for legislation as well. And you know, there's going to come a time here in the United States Senate where they're no longer in the majority, and it's going to be very, very difficult to turn back the hands of time if they move forward and do what they're talking about doing. So I hope that cooler heads will prevail again in the United States Senate this year, and that the Democrat majority will decide to reverse its plans and continue the tradition, the history, the precedent, and the rules of the United States Senate.